it's Don, the Auction Professor here. I went to one of my pickers yesterday evening, and I got a little haul here. I spent $133. He forgot something actually, so I owe him 10, but no big deal. So it's $133 and everything here. This is a typical. It doesn't look like much. Doesn't look like there's a lot here. Most people would never spend $123 on what you see here. But if you give me a second to show you what I got, you'll see the value and the money in it. I'll get rid of the big things first. Paper dolls. These are like from the 40s. They're actually flocked. If you're not sure what flocking is, that's the fuzziness you feel like in some of the kids' books or postcards. It's got a ton of clothing in here. I'll probably look up to see who this is. There's some names written on the back, so I can probably look those up, and I bet you that the actual names of who these are. I saw paper dolls all the time for all kinds of material. I had a family affair one up, and someone else brought up the paper dolls, which I've had those as well. Paper dolls sell all the time. I sell them for everything. Annette Funicello I had a bunch of. I think I only have one left out of probably 40 of those. So it just depends on what they are. All the movie star ones from the 50s, 40s, and 30s sell. Early ones, turn of the century, Victorian, they all sell. I'm going to probably put, say, $57.50 and just see what happens with these. I can always lower it at another point if they don't sell right away, but there's like 60 pieces of clothing in that one. I'm going to talk a little bit, too, about sheet music, because I had a question on that, too, because I did get some sheet music in here, too, but we will cover that at the end, or maybe I'll just go a special video just on that. But I did get a stack of sheet music. I think maybe I'll just do a separate video for you. This was included in there, and I'll go over these, I guess, in another video, so you can kind of do it as a bolo. These are things that I buy all the time, routinely, and I make a lot of money on. So, but I'll touch those in another video, so you can kind of get a better breakdown of it. I've already went through and pulled out and separated the better stuff in here. I talk about Victorian trade cards. I actually got a bunch of them from that same lot. Not just cards. This is actually a menu from a hotel, Morton House, Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1883. It actually lists the full menu, coffee, the whole works, pickled lamb's tongue. The odder the item on something like this, the better they usually sell. In the age and such forth, even with the damage on it, this is probably a $57 item minimum. People collect local hotels, local history. It's a small town. Grand Rapids still isn't a huge town. I've been there many times. It's a very nice town. Interesting, we eat there occasionally. There's antique malls, the whole works. Another area, this is Victorian as well too. This is actually the early sign language. And this is the original style. This is probably 1880s. It was sold by someone who actually needed to use it, someone who couldn't talk, who used the sign language. And it even says that on here. This card was 5 cents back then, which for back then was fairly a large amount of money. But this one, the last one I had, I got $95 out of it, and it wasn't quite as nice as this, so I'm expecting to put maybe $125 and take what I can get. I may only get $50 for it, but I've sold one of these for a high dollar. So these were $1. Nice J&P coats. Elephants always sell. Probably get $10 out of that one. I buy in multiples too if it's a good item. This is a local from, I believe this is, oh jeez. It actually mentions this guy is an agent for Red Star line of steamships. This is a steamship agent card. Not only that, it's written in English and German, which you don't see very often, and it's local. It's from Marshall, Michigan. It's a really small town even then. I got 3 identicals. I would guess with the Red Star line, and actually American and Red Star line, Airship Matters in German. They take care of German. He's a lawyer. He does all kinds of stuff. I might get, say, $75 a card. I've got 3 of them. Again, I got 123 into the entire lot. Well, I'm sorry, 133 because of the other 10. Again, just right there, that's my money back right already. These are like trade cards. This is for a grocery store. I get $10 usually a piece for these, no matter what's on them. Just the way it is. This is Acme soap. Grand Rapids National Bank. Here's another one. It's actually a full-fledged steel plate engraving on the front from 1880. It's a Robinson. They're usually better than most. I've sold some engraved cards just like this in the 95 to 110 range. This one's for a bank. It's a collectible. It's a trade item. I would probably put $57.50 on it. What's this one here? New and secondhand furniture. Here's a used clothing and furniture seller from the 1880s. I'll probably put $27.50 on it. And again, I got 133 total into this, and that includes 40 plus items of paper, all at the same person, all at the same time, all as a good huge profit for me. The records. Here's one. Again, I looked most of these up. This is one I hadn't seen, so I actually had to look this one up, and usually I don't see many that I haven't seen. Godfrey. It's the Trip. It's garage rock psychedelic. It's worth $175. I can't find a recent sale on this in 3 years. And I use many sites besides eBay. eBay doesn't have much past 3 months. I go back and pay for sites to actually have access to their data. PopPsych is one of those. And this one literally hasn't sold since, I believe, 2015. And that one went for $180-ish or somewhere in that range. You can look it up as well, C-Jam Records. It's a garage from Los Angeles. Again, I've said before, I use posties for everything. You're going to see posties everywhere when you watch enough of my videos. Bob Dylan. Not a huge price one, but it's a promo for a Hot Potatoes. It's Ked's Shoes. But it's a Bob Dylan one, $20 with the sleeve. It's a decent record. It's an EP, and it's a promotional style. Again, another 45, we're $24.50. Joe Bennett and the Sparkle Tones. It's a rockabilly. Here's an R&B, and I've had many in the swinging label, and many by Big J McNeely. Little Sonny is the singer. Back Shack Track. It's a pretty good hit. $37.50. It's in real good condition. Rockabilly I do a ton of, and I usually sell at least a record worth $150 or more every single month in just the rockabilly category. This is Rock and Rock Daddy-O on Headline, Joey Castle and the Daddy-Os. It's an original 50s. I'll probably get $145 for this. This one is so scarce that they actually do repros of it that look almost identical, but once you can tell and know what to look for on the dead wax, you'll be able to tell the difference. This is only the second one I've seen of this in probably almost 15 or 20 years, so this one's a decent one. And again, I literally have 133 into everything. Here's some more, not a high dollar one, $12.50. It should sell fairly well. Danny Hutton, Big Bright Eyes, HBR label. This is actually Hanna-Barbera, the ones who do Yogi Bear and the whole works. They actually ran a label. It's not scarce. It's not a rarity. The label itself, I've gotten seen hundreds from this label. They did the banana splits and many oddball things like that, but they also did major stars and minor stars like this, but it will get $12 or so. Ronnie D. Marino, this is another rockabilly, Ding Dong Daddy Wants to Rock. This is a promo on a white label for Jubilee. $75 is what I expect I'll put on it, and probably get 50-ish or so, but it's a pretty good record. I'll hold on to it if it doesn't sell right off the bat. Here's another one. I haven't looked this one up yet, but I'm expecting I'll probably put 45 or better on it. It's sealed still. 1982. It's a Batman, Peter Pan, Read in Here, so it's a book and a record set. It's a good one. It's got advertisements on it for other superheroes on it too. And then I got a few 78s. Now, 78s again, I pay $1 a piece for these. These are Greek. Now, I've only done preliminary lookups on these because the text, I'll have to get a text translator on it of some sort to figure it out. But estimates now, like on this Nina label, if you look it up on PopPsych or any of the other sites, this record probably go for $80 on its own. And I'm guessing some of the other ones will too. Orthophonic, this I knew the label name right off the bat. This is a European pressed RCA. And again, I'm probably going to put, say, 75 on each of these that are in what would be considered ethnic. They're all original pressings from the 30s through the 50s at the latest. All Greek. We have a Greek community around here. My son did the robotics team from Dana here, and for us, we did the volunteer work for the Greek church. It was a good, enjoyable experience. I love experiencing stuff. My family has some Polish background, so we went to all the Polish festivals, the German festivals, the Hungarian festivals, the whole work. So again, I'm not sure total price on these, but I'm guessing $70, $75 I'll put on them and see what they go from there. There's a ton that are comps to these that went in that price range, same labels. Artists are very similar. Again, it's hard to tell because it's all written in Greek style letters, so I haven't a clue on how to read that. But again, 133 into this whole lot. Postcards, real picture postcards. I don't know how well these are going to be able to be seen, but these things are going to go for some good money. Some of these, like this one here, is from Andover, Ohio. It's a major event. This might be someone actually famous here. I can actually track down from the date it was shipped, hopefully get a ballpark and look up maybe. It almost looks like John Philip Sousa's band in there, but I could be wrong. I didn't look at the card very closely other than that. Here's one from Spud City Potluck. Now, I've determined where this is at. I found similar information. So this is actually British Columbia, Ashcroft. I've got more cards from the same area. These I'll probably put $75 a piece on them and see what happens. Again, more real picture postcards. This is Canuet, Ohio, a snowstorm that destroyed the town. This kind of stuff sells well. I could go on all day. Here's a Triumph TR7 advertising original postcard from when it was first made. It's a British card too, made from the company. That might be a $20 or $30 card. Local ones, holiday ones. John Winch. If you don't know who John Winch is, look up John Winch. I buy anything that has his name on it or anything that has the back design. I don't know how you can see it in mine, but there's a specific back design he uses. They were only made in between a 2 or 3 year time frame, so most of them are worth some good money. The fold-out cards even better. I got 2 of these, all in the same 133. Again, these are probably like $30 cards I'm going to put on them each. So seasonal, religious, I buy them all. It's easy to tell once you've seen enough postcards how to tell how old they are. The real photo ones too, the backs are usually very similar. Type in AZO in the postcard section and you'll see there's a Cryo, there's ACO, there's Ansco. This is another one, Carbo. These are all names of the companies that printed the actual. Psycho is my favorite. I love the name Psycho. These are just names of the companies that printed these. You could buy a kit for your camera, and you would actually be able to take and develop the photo of the postcard yourself. One thing why a real picture postcards sell for so much money is that sometimes they're one-offs. There's only been one of those cards ever made, or a very limited number if they're made by a studio. But again, with what I got here right now, it's probably honestly close to $1,000 or more. Probably $1,250 to $1,500 profit is what I expect to make off what you just saw. These little pieces of scrap, these little pieces of paper. Some of these items might take a long time to sell. I don't mind because I'm going to for sure get all my money back from just a couple things that will sell quick. So it's a no-brainer. It doesn't matter if they sit and I build up 20 or 30 John Winches or local cards together. Some of these I'm going to sell right away because I've got from some of the same city. Some of these, like this one here from Andover, Ohio, it's a very scarce card from what I can see. If it is someone famous in the picture and I can add that to the detail, it might be something that would make it worthwhile selling right away for a quick turnaround for maybe, say, $75 for this one real picture postcard. And if you don't know, RPPC is real picture postcard. But that's my haul here. I will post another video where I'll go over sheet music on its own. That's a bolo as far as I'm concerned. I buy them everywhere I see them as long as there's something good. And there's some specifics that you can always look for in sheet music where you're at least going to make a decent profit. Maybe not huge, but you're going to get your money back and then still make $5-10 on each one. So again, Don the Auction Professor, please hit the like button, subscribe, tell a friend, and have a good day.